The Girl Who Spoke 7 Languages, Part 2, Vienna and the Boy with No Name. Maria had never seen snow before, not real snow, not the kind that covers everything, the streets, the rooftops, the iron lampposts, in complete silence. She stood outside Vienna airport with one small suitcase and watched the city breathe. It was nothing like Lisbon. Lisbon was loud and warm and smelled of salt and old tiles. Vienna was cold and grand and beautiful in a way that made her feel very, very small. She was 16 years old. She knew nobody. And for the first time in her life, she was completely alone. She thought of her mother at the airport gate that morning, trying not to cry, failing. She thought of Avo Helena pressing the silver ring into her palm. "Promise me you will not hide your gift." She looked down at the ring. Then she picked up her suitcase and walked into the city. The language school was called Institute Central. Tall gray building, iron gates, old stone walls that smelled of wood polish and centuries. Maria liked it immediately. She shared a room with Sofia from Brazil, who talked constantly and laughed at everything, and Yuki from Japan, who was quiet and made her bed with military precision every morning. That first evening, the three of them sat on the floor and shared food from home: Sofia's coconut biscuits, Yuki's rice crackers, Maria's slightly crushed pastel de nata. For a few hours, she forgot she was scared, but the nights were harder. Lying in the dark, listening to Vienna, trams, voices in German, distant piano music, Maria felt something she had never felt before. Not homesickness, something deeper, like she had stepped out of her own life and wasn't sure she could step back in. She opened her hand and looked at the silver ring. Was that enough? Here, surrounded by extraordinary students from all over the world, was her gift anything at all? She closed her fingers around the ring and tried to sleep. The next morning she was late for her first class. She ran down the corridor, turned a corner, and walked straight into someone. Papers everywhere, books on the floor. "I'm so sorry," she said automatically, in French. She looked up. A boy, maybe 17 or 18. Dark eyes, dark coat, expensive scarf. Hair slightly messy in a way that suggested he didn't care. He was looking at her with an expression she couldn't read. "You're from Lisbon," he said quietly, in perfect Portuguese. Maria froze. "How did you know that?" He picked up his papers slowly, said nothing for a moment, then, "I've been waiting for you," and walked away. Maria stood alone in the corridor, heart hammering. She had never met this boy before, she was certain. So how did he know where she was from, and what did he mean, waiting for her? She asked Sofia about him that evening. "Dark coat, dark eyes, speaks Portuguese?" Sofia raised an eyebrow. "That's Lucas Ferreira. But Maria, everybody knows about Lucas." "What do you mean everybody knows?" Sofia lowered her voice. "His family, they're connected to this school somehow. Nobody knows exactly how. He's been here 3 years already, speaks 9 languages. 9, Maria." She paused. "And he never talks to anyone. Ever." "He talked to me," Maria said quietly. Sofia stared at her. "Then you need to find out why." The next morning, Maria found a note slipped under the dormitory door. No name, no explanation, just 5 words written in small, precise handwriting. "Your grandmother sent me here." Maria sat on the edge of her bed and read the note 3 times. Her hands were not completely steady. Avo Helena, who had never left Lisbon, who had pressed a silver ring into her granddaughter's hand and whispered words about gifts and promises. How did she know Lucas Ferreira? What had she told him, and why? Of all the things she could have said to prepare Maria for Vienna, had she never once mentioned his name? In Part 4, Maria confronts Lucas, and the truth about Avo Helena and the ring is more complicated than she ever imagined.